Hello readers to this academic discussion forum where today we are going to talk about world literature. World literature is a newly emerging literature which has got its relevance to the whole world of literature. So it's very essential to understand as to what we mean by world literature. We got to know about its features, about its relevance, the way it is being, you can say, disseminated into the whole world of literature. So today we are very fortunate and we are very grateful to have with us, Professor Pramod Kumar ji, who is teaching at Indira Gandhi Open University as a professor, worked immensely in the field of world literature, and we are very fortunate to have him with us. So welcome Professor Pramod Kumar ji to this academic discussion forum where we are going to talk about world literature. So Professor Pramod Kumar ji, since you have worked in this field of world literature, immensely I would say, so I would like you to enlighten our readers about world literature. Like, how do you conceptualize the whole concept, the whole notion of world literature? So what is your perspective about world literature?
Thank you very much for your invitation. I'm glad to be able to connect to all your viewers. And the question that you have asked is highly significant in the sense that right from Plato and Aristotle, we have been probing about as to what is literature. You see, Dr. Rajesh, Socrates and all those Greek philosophers, they talked about literature in its many diverse, facets. And some they talked about it as in terms of purgation of human emotions. They talked about, I think, its relation, its negotiation with life. And I think that when we are positioned in 21st century, 21 years have gone of that, and we live in a borderless universe. So we live not in terms of nationalities as in a narrow structures of humanity. We now live as world citizens, global entities. I think that world literature is the most authentic frame, most authentic lens to understand what literature is. Historically, I would like to take you to the times of Goethe, for example, in 1835, when he was talking about what is world literature with his secretary Ackermann, and he talked about that time of regional literatures or nationalistic literatures has gone, and we have to now catapult ourselves to a new understanding. I think at that time what was done, that they put together all the world masterpieces of literature and presented it to us as world literature. For example, Epic of Gilgamesh. They took something from the Eastern world also in terms of Bhagavad Gita. So I think that was one way of where world's most recognized masterpieces are clubbed and presented to us. I think, but when we are living today, in contrast to 1835, I understand that we need to have a more holistic, more comprehensive understanding of our literature. Now, time has come that we look at it in terms of representation also. I find that the modern day aspect, understanding of world literature is highly Eurocentric. Eurocentric in the sense that you find whole lot of, like you will find the poem of Beowulf and other poems, everything from the Western perspective that has to be checked, and it has to be more level playing field. I understand that what Tagore talked about, Tagore talked about Vishwa Sahitya, at that time. So let's not try to kind of have a very chronological and nationalistic understanding of it. I understand that world literature has always been in the minds of people, and because of its didactic, instructive ability, and how people need to relate to it.
Keeping into perspective, its relevance, so it would be very interesting to know as to how do you relate the world literature in today's world, also to the world of literature, because I mean it is getting a lot of popularity into the world. So what is your perspective in the context of, you can say, its relevance with today's world?
I think that like a kind of a frame of literature which helps us to understand the most critical issues of our times, no? Like the world is suffering on the account of caste, class, gender, race, ethnicity. So I think a world literature text is a text which is located in one particular cultural territory, but then allows the readers to understand, grasp, and negotiate, actively deal with the challenges that we are facing. So when Wole Soyinka, HAB and Gugi talk about the idea of race and the color problem there, and they talk about remedies, I find that there is a lesson, there is a kind of prescription for the whole humanity. I think that text, though that may be rooted in a cultural scenario, but that symbolizes a huge importance for all of us, and I would consider that as a important world literature document. So I think that what I'm trying to advocate, I'm trying to put forward a case for a newer, more vibrant and dynamic understanding of world literature. Today, when youths, who will understand, who will solve the problems? You see, if you let's read United Nations, they are saying that we are at a position when we can solve the most critical problems of our world. This exploitation, injustice, starvation. So when we are trying to offer this idea of literature, world literature, I think we will be able to bring together the youth of all continents. I may talk about like 5 geopolitical regions where we have Asia on the other side, and then Australia and Oceania on the other, and we talk about American and South American, and we also talk about African literature, and we talk about a theoretical insight. I think with the world literature, with the theoretical conceptual approaches of the world literature, we will be able to overcome the modern day a theoretical deadlock that is facing us. I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to navigate ourselves with this, and come to a wider, more comprehensive and more emancipatory understanding of literature. I'm very glad to share with all the audience that this is, I think this is a natural evolution, though there are many issues that people find. When we look at it, people say that this is maybe little more in a way more product of Western imagination. But I think that if we we relate to it in the sense that it actually belongs to, I think we'll be able to derive and we'll be able to fructify the real importance and significance of it. And I really thank all the viewers for their sense of participation, and let us get together and build up on this platform of world literature and make a better nation, a better world and a better universe, so to say. Thank you very much. I'm grateful to be with you for this important discussion. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Professor Pramod Kumar ji, for having given us such a precious time of yours, okay, and also having given us new perspectives on world literature. I am very sure that all the readers will benefit a lot from the kind of perspective we have given on the whole concept of world literature, and particularly also on the way it is being related today and how much it has got its relevance into this world. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.